Story of Prophet Yusuf. A.S. From the Well to the Royal Court. Introduction. The story of Prophet Yusuf, A.S., or Joseph as he is known in Judeo-Christian traditions, is one of the most captivating narratives in Islamic tradition. It is a story rich in themes of patience, perseverance, and divine wisdom. Yusuf's A.S. journey from being thrown into a well by his jealous brothers to rising to power in the royal court of Egypt serves as a profound example of faith and resilience. This essay explores the key events in the life of Prophet Yusuf, A.S., examining his trials, his rise to prominence, and the enduring lessons from his remarkable story. Early life and dreams. Prophet Yusuf, A.S., was the son of Prophet Yaqub, A.S., and Rachel, making him the youngest of Yaqub's, A.S., 12 sons. Yusuf, A.S., was favored by his father due to his exceptional character and virtues. This favoritism, while a source of pride for Yusuf, A.S., also sowed seeds of jealousy among his older brothers. The Quran recounts how Yusuf, A.S., had a dream in which he saw 11 stars, the sun, and the moon prostrating to him. When he shared this dream with his father, Yaqub, A.S., recognized it as a sign of Yusuf's, A.S., future greatness and warned him of potential harm from those envious of him. Jealousy and betrayal. The brothers' jealousy of Yusuf, A.S., grew to such an extent that they conspired to rid themselves of him. They plotted to throw Yusuf, A.S., into a well, hoping that he would be lost forever. They falsely told their father that Yusuf, A.S., had been devoured by a wolf, leaving Yaqub, A.S., devastated. Yusuf, A.S., however, was rescued from the well by a passing caravan and was sold into slavery in Egypt. Life as a slave and the test of patience. In Egypt, Yusuf, A.S., was purchased by a prominent official, the Aziz Potiphar. Despite his status as a slave, Yusuf, A.S., maintained his integrity and diligence. He quickly gained the trust and respect of the Aziz and was entrusted with the management of the household. However, Yusuf's A.S. beauty and moral character drew the attention of the Aziz's wife, who attempted to seduce him. Yusuf, A.S., resisted her advances, citing his commitment to Allah and his loyalty to his master. In a dramatic turn of events, the Aziz's wife falsely accused Yusuf, A.S., of attempting to seduce her. As a result, Yusuf, A.S., was imprisoned. Despite the injustice he faced, Yusuf, A.S., exhibited remarkable patience and faith in Allah. The prison and the interpretation of dreams. While in prison, Yusuf, A.S., continued to display his integrity and wisdom. He befriended two fellow prisoners, one of whom was a cupbearer to the king and the other a baker. Both prisoners had dreams that troubled them, and Yusuf, A.S., offered to interpret their dreams according to the will of Allah. His interpretations proved accurate. The cupbearer would be reinstated to his position, while the baker would be executed. Yusuf, A.S., asked the cupbearer to remember him to the king, hoping that this might lead to his release. However, the cupbearer forgot Yusuf, A.S., upon his return to the court, and Yusuf, A.S., remained in prison for several more years. The king's dream and Yusuf's release. The turning point in Yusuf's, A.S., life came when the king of Egypt experienced a troubling dream that none of his advisors could interpret. The cupbearer, finally remembering Yusuf, A.S., recommended him to the king. Yusuf, A.S., was brought from prison to interpret the king's dream, which foretold 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Yusuf, A.S., not only interpreted the dream, but also provided a plan for managing the forthcoming years of plenty and the subsequent famine. The king was impressed by Yusuf's, A.S., wisdom and appointed him to a high administrative position, making him responsible for implementing the plan. So, Yusuf's, A.S., rise to power and his reunion with his family. Yusuf, A.S., was given great authority and was able to oversee the storage of surplus grain during the years of abundance. When the famine struck, his administration efficiently managed the distribution of food. The famine affected many regions, including Canaan, where Yusuf's, A.S., family lived. During the famine, Yusuf's brothers came to Egypt seeking food. They did not recognize Yusuf, who had grown into a powerful and distinguished figure. Yusuf, initially treated them with suspicion and tested their sincerity by accusing them of being spies. He eventually revealed his identity to them, leading to an emotional reunion. Yusuf, forgave his brothers for their past wrongs and invited his entire family to move to Egypt, where they could live in comfort and security. This reunion marked the fulfillment of Yusuf's earlier dream and the realization of Allah's plan for him. The wisdom and legacy of Yusuf, The story of Yusuf, is rich in moral and spiritual lessons. His trials, from being cast into the well to his time in prison and his rise to power, exemplify patience, integrity, and unwavering faith in Allah. Yusuf's ability to forgive his brothers and reconcile with them demonstrates the virtues of mercy and compassion. Lessons from Yusuf's story. 1. Patience and trust in Allah. Yusuf's journey underscores the importance of patience and trust in Allah's plan. Despite facing severe trials and injustices, Yusuf, remained steadfast in his faith, knowing that Allah's wisdom and timing are perfect. 2. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Yusuf's forgiveness of his brothers highlights the value of reconciling with those who have wronged us. His actions exemplify the power of forgiveness and the healing it can bring to relationships. 3. The power of integrity. Yusuf's commitment to his principles, even in the face of temptation and false accusations, demonstrates the importance of maintaining one's integrity and moral character. 4. The role of divine wisdom. The story of Yusuf, illustrates how divine wisdom can turn even the most adverse circumstances into opportunities for growth and success. Yusuf's trials were part of a larger plan that ultimately led to his rise to power and the reunion with his family. Theological significance. In Islamic theology, the story of Yusuf, serves as a powerful example of how Allah's plans unfold in ways that may not be immediately apparent. It reaffirms the concept of divine justice and mercy, showing that even in the face of severe trials, Allah's wisdom prevails. Yusuf's life also emphasizes the importance of adhering to faith and moral principles, regardless of external circumstances. Impact on Islamic tradition. The story of Yusuf, is frequently referenced in Islamic teachings and is celebrated for its rich moral and spiritual lessons. It is recited and reflected upon by Muslims as a source of guidance and inspiration. The narrative also holds a special place in Islamic art and literature, serving as a symbol of resilience and faith. Conclusion. The story of Prophet Yusuf, is a profound narrative that encapsulates themes of faith, patience, and divine wisdom. His journey from the well to the royal court is a testament to the power of perseverance and the ultimate triumph of righteousness. Yusuf's life offers valuable lessons on integrity, forgiveness, and trust in Allah's plan, making his story a timeless source of inspiration and guidance for believers. Through his trials and triumphs, Yusuf, exemplifies the virtues of patience and faith, leaving a lasting legacy in Islamic tradition.